Hello, my name is Todd Tarbert, and I am the founder of Semble. And for the last 16 years, we've been working with churches and private Christian schools to address their loan needs. And I know we're grateful that you're spending a few minutes of your time to learn more about how you might be able to participate in the funding of the loan for Sound Christian School. First, I just want to thank Greg for sharing, from his heart, the need in our communities for Christian education. And I cannot agree more. I don't think there's ever been a time in history where our children are under assault in the way that they are today. So thank you for just spending time and you being willing to learn how you can come alongside and support Christian education in the Tacoma area. In every one of our initiatives over the last 16 years, we create what we call a listing. I'm going to show that here. And this is where we're hoping that each of you will go and review the information and make a careful consideration as to whether or not you're in a position to be able to invest. I just want to highlight a few parts of the listing. We aren't going to have time to go through it in detail at all. But when you go to the listing, I want you to be a little familiar with it. The first thing you'll see when you come to the first landing page is, the basic information. It has initial minimum loan goal of $400,000, a maximum loan goal of $2 million. It's a 5-year loan commitment, so your funds would be tied up for 5 years. And you can earn up to 8% interest. And I'm going to talk about that here in a few minutes. And as you can see here, the minimum investment amount is $30,000. And obviously, if we have the capacity to do more, that would be a blessing to the school. The rest of the listing contains information to help you make an informed decision. This first tab talks about the school, the reason for the loan, some of its history, its background, and so on and so forth. The next tab goes into more detail on the investment itself. You're making an investment in a loan that's going to be secured by a deed of trust recorded against the property. Now, it's important to note that this loan will be in a position behind some existing notes, which are in the process of being consolidated into one. So the goal eventually is this loan will be in a second priority position behind the current existing loans. You'll see there's a link to all of the material documents and agreements where you can go and review them. And then there's information on the valuation of the property, the collateral, use of the proceeds. Next tab over talks about the financials situation of the school, historical financials, budgets, governing documents. Again, what we've tried to do is put together all of the information in one place so that you can go and review the information in order to make a decision about participating. After you have reviewed the information, prayed about it, got your questions answered, the next step would be to click on this Get Started button. And there's a couple of steps after that. A very simple registration. It takes less than a minute to get registered. And then the next screen, you're going to answer a couple of questions. How much you're able to invest, and where is the source of your funds coming from? One of the things that's unique about our program is we structure them in a way that allows people to use retirement funds in order to participate. So, for example, if you have funds that are in a self-directed IRA or a Roth IRA, those funds could be directed towards the funding of this loan, which is a very attractive option for a lot of the investors that have participated in our initiatives over the last 16 years. Then the final thing that will indicate is the interest rate you're willing to invest your funds at. As I indicated, you can elect up to 8%. But what I would encourage every one of you as you consider to invest is to consider investing at a rate that's lower than that. The way that this is set up, you can elect a rate up to that 8%, but you can elect any rate below that down to 0. And I would just share with you, over the last 16 years, we've had thousands of investors in our initiatives. And I would say it's well over 95% of those investors have elected a rate of 4% or less as they participate in our initiatives. And in many cases, we have investors electing a 0% interest rate. And, you might ask, why would somebody do that? And I think that the answer is, it's people that realize that, they've been blessed. And we want people to be investing out of their abundance. And they're investing with a kingdom mindset. They realize that they are just stewarding what is God's anyway. So anyway, obviously you can elect any rate. That is your decision. But we would ask that you prayerfully consider participating at a rate lower than that 8%, because it would be an extraordinary blessing to the school. So, call to action. It's pretty straightforward. We want first, we hope that every one of you will go to the link to the website that contains all of that information, review it in detail, get your questions answered. And the ways that you can get your questions answered, if it relates to the school, we direct you to Greg or somebody else at the school that can answer the questions you might have. If it relates to this vehicle of funding their loan, we want you to go ahead and give me a call. Reach out to me. You can call me. You can email me. You can join me in one of my presentations. I hold a Zoom meeting twice a week. It's Tuesday mornings at 9 a.m. and then Thursday afternoons at 2 p.m. And that'd be a great opportunity where we'd go into more detail. I just very quickly gone through this, and those weekly presentations are half an hour to 45 minutes. So obviously we're covering a lot more ground so that you can learn more. And finally, think about somebody else that you might know that might be able to participate. It's very common for a lot of our investors to be that, I'll call it, next tier of relationships. So it might be a family member, a grandparent, or somebody else that that has a heart for Christian education. Prayerfully consider encouraging them to review this information and to think about participating. Again, on behalf of Sound Christian Academy, I just want to thank you for taking time to learn about this program. We hope that you will pray for the school, pray for the students, and you prayerfully consider participating in this learning. Again, thank you and God bless.